Hi class, Dr. Earls checking in now for week 2. Thanks for all the work already in week 1. And yes, again, these 8-week sessions move fast, so there's assignments every week. And again, these Monday YouTubes are just to give clarification for each week's work and some applications to life and ministry from the work you're doing in your assignments. So for this week, you're doing your responses to last week's discussion topic, responding to your peers, and then you have your second reflection paper on Spurgeon. This work with Spurgeon, the purpose of this is to look and realize the theology that was driving Spurgeon's life and what happened through the ministry of Metropolitan Tabernacle, the church as it was renamed when they moved into their new location in 1860. So that is the purpose. You want to be noticing what he learned from Scripture and what God taught him about, yes, salvation and what is the gospel message. You're going to be reading more on that as you get to the Hull and Sobel's book work. But what was that from Scripture? And how did that then lead and affect his attitudes toward those that he served and led in the Metropolitan Tabernacle? So that's what we're looking at for each of those Spurgeon reflections. You want to see the theology. The purpose of this course especially is to continue helping you. It's not just gaining knowledge of theology, but how will we use theology? What we will do as far as applying theology. That's the aim of the course. My professor at Dallas Seminary, Howard Hendricks, always told us interpretation without application is abortion, right out of Matthew 5-7, the Sermon on the Mount. Let me say this about the first comprehensive paper that's coming up in week 3. I want to give further clarity. I feel like the instructions aren't as clear as they could be in helping you know what you're working on, understanding what's expected of you. But in that work, from what you've been doing, yes, from reading Scripture, working with Spurgeon, and your other work to that point, I'm asking, what is the understanding you are gaining from Scripture? And yes, through Spurgeon's, what God taught him from Scripture of theology, and how will that inform, and what will you do with that, and how you work with and lead the laity you will be serving as a leader in whatever role that capacity is in God's will for your life and your participation in the local church. And then, yes, in that paper also I'm asking, what was the gospel from Scripture that God taught Spurgeon and what he communicated regarding the call to salvation and how that informs our lives and those we work with in the church and God's calling on their lives. I'll be putting this into the midweek announcement this week as well as in next week's announcements regarding this first comprehensive paper, what you're being asked to work on. Thanks, class, so much. God bless you. Have a great week ahead. All right, bye.